All right. Welcome to lesson one, where we will take you through understanding the technical program manager role from a basic but also very complete level. So the key purpose of this session is to define the role and try and explain how it differs from other roles in the orbit of project and program management, because there's similarities but also key distinctions in terms of what makes this role unique. Then we'll look at organizational fit. So usually where this will sit in a company from a TPM perspective, as well as the business value and impact we will drive. So put simply, a technical program manager is a program manager that specializes in delivery, tech-enabled or heavily technical strategic company initiatives. So you will bridge the gap between executing at a technical level from an engineering perspective, software engineering, solutions architecture, etc. So you can think of a TPM as a glue role or as the connective tissue that really holds complex technical initiatives together and has the full oversight and overview from a vantage point of how business strategy connects to what is delivered at a technical level. So a brief overview of the core TPM responsibilities. There is a lot of cross-team coordination, specifically across a variety of stakeholders, business stakeholders to more technical people, thinking here of software engineers, product managers, data engineers, data architects, you name it, which you will also have to align and bring clarity to in terms of the direction of the program. So you're going to have a multitude of stakeholders. You're going to have to work together with them to swim in the same direction or deliver in unison according to a common North Star. So there's a lot of alignment that these people need, because these people typically do not sit in the same team in the organization that you're in. So there's a lot of coordination that's required to build that actual alignment. That alignment is also fostering and rolling up to the company strategy, which needs execution. So you will typically be working on major company initiatives that underpin the company's business strategy from a C-level perspective. So it's a high visibility role in the sense that you're not working on minor work projects. You're working on what really moves the needle from year to year at a tech company. And with that comes a lot of responsibility. As they say, with great power comes always usually a lot of responsibility. And there's a lot of technicalities to navigate within that sphere of that role. So you're going to have to stay focused on executing on major projects, but you won't necessarily have positional authority as a functional manager, for example, in the finance or marketing department. So you're going to really have to collaborate with the teams, collaborate with the stakeholders, navigate a lot of trade-offs when it comes through option A, option B, what product do we build, what architecture do we use to build it, what are the trade-offs there. On navigating all those trade-offs on dependencies that can be technical, but also people related or general resource related, is key in terms of driving execution from a position that lacks formal org chart level authority. Let's break down the key difference between a technical program manager, project manager, and product manager. So I've actually covered two of these roles. I've worked as a project manager as I started my career at MongoDB, a tech company that I work for. And the project manager usually is your starting point from a project/program management role family perspective. Your focus is on delivering a single project or initiative, and your scope is limited to that. So your general project management skills that you would get from formal training from, for example, from the PMI Institute, or just by being on the job and learning from your more senior peers, are the key skills that you would lean on from a process management perspective, analyzing business functions, analyzing business flows of information and data, figuring out what the bottlenecks are. And also you'll be busy with scheduling and risk management as well. Your key decision and your key focus as a project manager is that of a work organizer and work planner. And so you'll see an example of a project there that can be in the tech world, managing a website redesign, or another one could be working on a software package upgrade for a major CRM solution that your company uses. Could be Salesforce, could be HubSpot, something of that sort. When it comes to how this differs from the program manager perspective, is that as you go up the role chart, the role family, the program manager switches focus from managing multiple projects to multiple programs. A program is a coordinated collection of projects. So it usually the focus and the scope shifts from a single project or team to multiple teams that usually sit across cross-functional departments, therefore giving you cross-functional programs to manage. There's also the technical aspect that comes in here, where the initiatives that you work on as a general project manager may or may not be technical in terms of the domain area or the topic area that you focus on. Whereas as a technical program manager, all your initiatives will be technology driven or system driven. So there's a heavy technical component to having to understand the system, having to understand the technology that enables the delivery or that underpins the delivery of these programs. So there's definitely more technical depth from a key skills perspective. And then there's a higher lens program management view versus the smaller lens project management view that the project manager would have. And you'll see an example here of coordinating a platform migration across 5 engineering teams. And the platform migration is definitely bigger in scope and more technical in nature than, at least relative to managing a website redesign project in the tech industry. When it comes to product manager, there's a bit of a distinction here that I will draw between like the first 2 roles and the one on the right. As a product manager, you're typically not part of a project or program management role family, but your sole focus is to build products from 0 to 1 by focusing on product features and roadmap setting and setting the vision for the tech product that you want to build. So your key skills here are not so much around work organization and program management, but here you really have to understand the customer and from an insight perspective, understand the key strategy and prioritization of the product that you want to build, as those elements relate to what the customer ultimately needs and wants in the market. So your only primary focus decisions-wise is what to build and why to build it. So examples here, what a product manager would work on could be defining the roadmap for a new mobile app. And actually the bigger product there is actually building the mobile app altogether, from bringing it from 0 to 1 to an existing product that can be launched in the market. So TPMs usually fit and follow diverse models from a reporting structure. You can be directly embedded into the engineering organization, reporting to engineering leadership. You can also work centrally, reporting to a program management office, PMO. This is very typical. This is something that I've experienced in my career as a technical program manager. But there's both centralized PMO model or a decentralized reporting to engineering leadership model, which are both valid, and they have their pros and cons. Honestly, worked in both, and they are both highly effective at leaning on TPMs, technical program managers, to focus on the key strategic projects. And you can also directly work in a product or platform team and embed it towards directly supporting product managers and the engineering teams that support product managers, and again, building that product vision. So the common thread here is that independently of your reporting structure, you will be typically working horizontally across the organization and working with a bunch of different departments, from engineering to design, data science, and all the functional departments, sales, marketing, finance, depending on your domain area of specialization as well. 4 key pillars underpin the true value that you will bring to your organization as a TPM. 1, you are a master of execution excellence and managing and reducing risk. So these are the core elements underpin the entirety of the role. So you'll work on complex initiatives, you'll focus on keeping them on track, keeping everybody accountable, working horizontally and cross-functionally with everybody involved in those initiatives. And as you go through those initiatives, you will be constantly proactively identifying, mitigating, and really managing the risks that come up, posing and making decisions on those risks, and supporting the team to effectively manage the risks as they come up in the project. Because the reduction of those risks is directly tied to a program or project success. And these initiatives, again, you will be working on strategically aligned complex initiatives. So really connecting the technical work to how the business succeeds as a result of the delivery of those initiatives, and making sure that the engineering work or the technical work has clearly defined business outcomes that serve business stakeholders and overall organizational success. So technical work won't be occurring in an isolated sphere, but technical work always needs to be translated and always needs to be brought back to what value are you delivering from an organizational perspective, from a business perspective, as a result of delivering this technical project. And this is what really gives you the impact in the sense of like TPMs enabling and being able to let their companies handle multiple simultaneous initiatives, build repeatable frameworks, and overall ensure execution level success across the most critical, most strategic programs and projects that are underpinned by technology. So it's a very, very cool, very, very high visibility, high important role. And it's just great to be able to have that visibility and in growth and challenge to deliver value across all these core 4 pillars. So it's a highly recommended, highly visible role. If you like the work, it's just fun. Speaking of fun, and from a job market perspective, from a job demand perspective, there's definitely a new demand for TPMs. So this is a very now recognized role in tech companies, and there's lots of opportunities to get TPM roles thanks to AI, tech, and digital transformation opportunities. There's also an opportunity to work remotely, work with distributed teams. This definitely requires stronger coordination, especially across multiple time zones. I've been working in a very distributed fashion in my career, and it's definitely a challenge, but it can also be a fun one and really develop your coordination muscles even more. And now with the latest hype and focus around AI initiatives, this is also where TPMs shine. So if you're passionate about AI, you can also get and specialize around opportunities and get those opportunities that have a key AI or machine learning and data science exposure and angle to it. And also just specialize not as a tech program manager, but also specialize as a AI savvy technical program manager. Just a view of like the competitiveness of the role from a salary stats perspective. At least this is from the United States from mid-February. And as you can see, with a median total comp of $235K, this role in job family is definitely attractive. And again, it's poised for more and more growth, especially, as big tech companies definitely recognize this role, but also medium and smaller size businesses also in the tech world, at least. In my experience, I've seen this role being really made valuable. So to bring it all together, the key takeaways from this first session are that as a TPM, you sit in the middle. You will be focusing and specializing in a bridge role, bridging technical execution with the business strategy and the business value. We will distinctly focus on executing at a technical level, which again, it's different from just being a generalist project manager or a product manager that is building on scaling and building a product vision, working on a product backlog informed by product customers. And there's, again, this cross-functional or horizontal impact across your organization, whether you work more in the marketing side or on the finance side, you will be working and having multiple touch points and work with multiple people all across the organization. So it's also a great role to really become an expert of the motions, the processes, and the departments, from multiple sides, multiple angles at your company. So in a way, it is multifaceted as the value that you drive, because you really bring value not just from one single angle, but through multiple ones, as we've seen, whether it is through risk reduction, working on executing at the excellent level for the most top priority strategic initiatives and the impact that those bring across the board of your organization. And from a job market perspective, it is a super solid career path that is and represents a growing opportunity, both from a salary and demand perspective for tech companies, no matter if they're small or large. Next up, we'll explore the core skill set or the core competencies that you need to work and deliver effectively as a technical program manager. Thank you.